Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we are starting chapter 3, and that is going to be page 112. Well, not the whole chapter, but what we're looking at today is page 112 to looks like 117. All right, and this is the week of December 4th. So if you were taking notes, you could set it up something like this. And our topic is, we'll just write algebraic expressions. And I'll just put EX. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to write each expression using exponents. So let's say we had this expression, d times, that's multiplication, d times d times d times d. Before we write this expression, think about how we would do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? We would do this 2 to the 4th power, all right? We don't know what d equals, so we can't solve this, but we do know that we're multiplying d by itself, so it's to the 4th power, okay? And that's as far as we can take it. All right, now we have another example, and this one we're gonna step it up a notch, not as easy as the first one. And we have 1.5 times h times h times h. We don't know what h equals, so we can't solve it, but we can simplify this. So we would have 1/2 times h, and I've got 1, 2, 3. I'm multiplying by itself, so it's 1/2 times h to the 3rd power. If we wrote it like this is also correct. When we have a number that's right next to a variable, that also means multiplication. And we could put parentheses there if we want it to be, to make that even clearer, but we don't need those parentheses. So our third example looks at this k plus 10, and it tells us when k equals 25. So all we're going to do is substitute 25 in for k, and our problem is now this, 25 plus 10. Once we substitute that number in, then we just go ahead and add, and 25 plus 10 equals 35, and that would be our final answer. All right, looking at example 4 right here, a little bit harder. Now we have two variables. We have a divided by b. Over here it tells us that a equals 16, so we're going to plug that in, and our problem is 16 divided by, and b equals 2/3. We learned earlier in the year divide fractions we're going to keep, so we have 16 over 1. Change to multiplication, 3 over 2. When we do this, when we multiply these two, I can reduce, right? I can look across here. 2 goes into both of those 1 time. 2 goes into 16 8 times. 8 times 3 equals 24 over 1, which just equals 24. And that would be my quotient.